He called me on one of my first days at the network, like, hey, what you doing? I said, I'm working. It was during a commercial break. He said, well, tell him I'm not coming to camp. And it started laughing. Well, my mic is right here. And the producer's in my ear like, is that for real? Is that for real? And I'm like, sick of hearing Beast Mode and I being corporate. Become a YouTube member and get all the shows ad-free and uncensored. So I can say words like,
take money out of that corporate jar when you become corporate free on the YouTube channel.
Attention, Get Gotters, we have merch. Hit the link in the video and below to get your fits.
Don't get got, get yours, bro. New merch.
Man, I know I'm gonna get got, but I'm gonna get mine more than I get got, though.
2-4 for the one time. I'ma get got, but I bet I gets mine. 2-4 to 2-6, and if I get got, then you know what I'ma get.
All right, Get Gotters, we got a special guest to the pod today.
Your brother.
Who?
Your brother.
My brother?
Yeah.
He is my brother.
I know.
He is my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Undrafted. My son right here.
Oh,
This is
My kid.
son right
Undrafted by the Minnesota Vikings in 2006. Spent time, most of the career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a little bit with the Oakland Raiders, the Washington Redskins, couple Pro Bowls, some touchdowns, all of that. Welcome to the Get Got podcast. Donald Penn, welcome, big dog.
I appreciate it. Man, you know, it's fine, man.
We finally got you on,
I
dog.
know. I'm the one that told him. I told my son to start a podcast.
Man,
Look
shut
at him,
your
man. I'm
ass
proud
up.
of him,
So,
man.
yeah, so, you know.
I told my son, I didn't want this idea.
Marshawn got a lot of daddies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Two
you
of them
know.
being right here.
Hey,
Two of
what's
them
up?
being right here. So,
Damn.
how'd you get in the position
See, this is what I
to
did.
being him being your son?
I
You know
heard
what I'm
about
saying?
I don't know.
clicking up,
A lot
bro.
of people don't know him and Josh Johnson. They brothers.
Oh my
I
God.
had
This-
Josh too.
Okay, yeah, Josh, one of my kids.
Yeah, so I had
too.
Josh too.
What the?
And then I had Sean. Josh older than Sean.
Yeah, he is a little.
You know how
it
this
was
go.
tough. It was tough raising him, man.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got a lot of mouth. You know what I'm saying? He like to talk
Y'all
and this, that, and the
clicked
third.
up on the God damn.
Hey, but he's successful, man. I'm proud of him.
Thought you was
Yeah.
my homie. Thought you was my ace. Now I want to slap the taste out your mouth.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
What's been going on with you, D-Pen, man? What you
Man.
doing right now? What's going on in life, man?
Man, everything been good, man. Raising my kids. You know, I'm still coaching my son's high school football team.
Junior.
Yeah, I'm loving that. Watching him grow.
Yeah.
Seeing him succeed.
He turning into a monster.
Yeah, he getting there. He working hard, man. He working hard
Do
this
we
all
got the
season.
mentality though?
It ain't there yet, but he shows signs. So when you see signs, you know he can get it all there. So he's showing signs, but he ain't got it all the way. So I'm looking for a big jump from his sophomore year, junior year. You know, he started a couple of
Well,
games
son,
last
you
year.
know you did because you thought you was a running back. You want
All
the ball
big
all
dudes
the
thought they was a
goddamn
running back.
time,
Every
son.
tackle I know,
So it-
bro, thought they was a running
Man.
back with the ball, bro.
No, I was an athlete.
There you go.
You know, I'm an
nigga.
athlete. You know, I got a label. You know, I'm not. When they put me there, it's just athlete, and then it's offensive tackle, offensive guard.
Create my
Football player
Yeah,
first,
then
my
the
athlete,
you know?
and then you know.
Yeah, because I gotta get that to my basketball back.
It's crazy, right? I'm glad you coach your son. I'm glad you're involved like that. This is my question because I got a son too, man. I'm assuming you kind of grew up kind of like I did. I didn't have much, so the love for the game came from a place of not having. And you already know where I'm going with this.
Yep,
Our kids
alright,
coming
well.
from a place where they have,
Mm-hmm.
right? How do you even, you know, Money said, does he got the dog? You know, does he have that about him? You like, yeah, it's coming. How do you develop that in an environment that doesn't always warrant that dog to come out? You get what I'm saying?
I mean, it's even tougher because I'm his coach too. Because now he's looking like, hey, like,
will never get off.
He's expecting, you know, and I had the, rough time this year. You know, he started his first game, did pretty good. Second game, first series, lazy. Second series, give him a sack fumble for a touchdown.
Oh,
I
critical.
pulled him out. He didn't play the rest of the game. Didn't play the next two games. Now I finally put him back in because the guy I had was, he's up and down. So I finally put him back in, but then I saw a big difference. But I had to take it away from him because he thought, daddy, hey, I'm gonna keep. He'll keep giving me chances. Nah, I had to take it away from him, sit him down for a little bit. And he finished strong. But it's tough though because him being my firstborn too.
Oh yeah,
so he got everything first. He saw everything, but then I constantly tell him too. I'm still learning with you.
Mm-hmm.
You my first 16-year-old. My second son Chubb, I'm gonna be able to do stuff different because I learned from you. So I'll be able to explain to him. This is still new. You my first 16-year-old.
Yeah,
you the first one giving me them looks and challenging me. I gotta
test yourself.
I gotta learn how to handle that.
How
and
to respond to that.
Flash. And I told him, I said, when you get older, you're gonna see me handling Chubb different. But I'm learning from you. I said we both learning. So I try to explain that to him. And always let him know it's coming from love.
Yeah.
And I just want him to be better than me. And I try to explain that to him as much. And I always praise him. I always praise him. When he does right. And he gets sad a lot too because his big brother never comes around.
Shut your ass. You trying to see Pawpaw, man?
But seriously, but I always praise him when he does do stuff right,
Yeah.
And when he does do stuff consistent, I let him know I see it, because I be on him when he doesn't. So when he does it right, I always make sure I overpraise him. But he's been working hard this summer, so I'm really excited to see where he's gonna go. You got Do
you find it challenging to coach your son? Just because I know I used to coach my kids. I coached my oldest early in his life, and I found it that the coaching was never turned off. I found myself not being able to be at home and just be chilling with him as a dad. Every chilling moment turned into a teaching, cutting on tape, hey man, take this step, this step. And it got to a point where my son had to say, Dad, dude, this ain't practice.
I fall into that constantly reminding him stuff, and then like during the season, I do a lot like when he doesn't do something consistent, I'm like, see, you don't do that consistently on the field.
Yeah,
he ain't doing it consistently in the house. Like I got constantly remind you, take out the trash, feed the dogs. But you say I got constantly remind you, bring your hands up, take this step. So I do. Was I like that with you? Give me cheers, dog.
Man, son, you better
It's my dog, right? But no, I do.
y'all crazy, bro.
Him, you got to get first off.
Yeah,
because if you don't get off first,
not, he gonna
shoot. He gonna shoot. But
man, I don't know what y'all talking. Man, I'm over here and I'm like, damn, really? Yes, you feel me? The initiative. And then actually doing it, like the execution part, what you in right now, like proud of you. 'Cause I know it ain't always been pretty, and we go deeper than a conversation on the pod, but and I commend you for that. Got a lot of respect for that. But it's crazy that you said that because me and Mike Rod was talking yesterday, and it was like, man, it's a situation where I'm the only person that want to see my son do better than me. As a dad, I'm like,
as a dad, your dad's the only one that want to see you do better.
And I don't know if they understand that. Like my son be doing some of the same stuff, like with his grades and stuff, like cutting it close. I'm like, bro, like stop doing that. I got tutors for you, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like let's get ahead of this. You know?
Yeah.
And he don't understand that. He's still trying to, slide in. Like, I don't even want to put his business out there, but like, his little grade, his grades ain't where they, just one class, I'm like that one class going.
And you don't want to limit your options later on, so you got to make sure you take care of business every step of the way. I heard Gilbert Arenas on his pod talk about this, and I sent it to my son, man. It's something that you could share too, dude. He said,
shout out Gil.
Yeah, shout out Gil. He was like, man, you playing, my kids are, kind of gated communities, that type stuff. The only way to combat the adversity that we went through that led us to get to the heights that we went to, the only way to combat that is love for the game. See, the kids you're going to be playing against that's from the inner city and stuff like that, they're fighting to never be broke again. That's a whole different driving force, bro. You see what I'm saying? We know how it is. We've been in those situations. And he's like, the way to combat that is your love for the game. So like I tell my son, I can't want you to get up to work out more than you. I can't be the one want you to go look at film more than you. Exactly. You gotta want it more. I done got mine already.
Yeah, like mine, he trying to put on some weight now. Like I got him to heavyweight protein. It's like every time I come on, hey, you take it. Why I got to remind you every day?
Yeah.
You should already be ready. You know that's something that you need to do. You felt that last year playing varsity.
Yeah.
I gotta get stronger. I gotta get bigger. One of the things you felt playing O-line. So it's like I gotta remind you all the time. Like, bro, like, do you want this? I'm telling them, look at these times now.
Yeah.
I tell them the left tackle for Colorado driving the Maybach as a freshman.
Yeah.
I said, bro, you're not driving my cars.
Yeah,
You're not
for
driving.
real.
You're not driving my stuff, man. You got a chance to go get your own now.
Man, cut that loose right now, man.
Man, I'm trying to teach you how to drive now, son.
Man, cut him loose.
You
man.
should see it, man. Well, let me know when you got a free day. I'm gonna bring you over there and let you.
I feel him, money. I had my old coach in college told me I'd rather put you in 2 weeks too late than 2 days too early. Think about what he's saying.
And the
I
thing
want
is
you to
with
be
him
over
too,
ready.
Yeah, the thing is with him too, with driving
You know what I
too,
mean?
he's gonna have the siblings a lot, because I need to
yeah,
take him to
so
school,
we
so I gotta
gotta
make sure he ready. I paid for the extra hours on driving school.
Yeah.
He got the top package. He got the platinum package.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, as I mentioned, introducing you, bro, undrafted, Minnesota. You spent most of your time in Tampa. Talk about that journey, bro. Because I think we all three represent different aspects of the football journey. You know, you got the first rounder. You know what I'm saying? The superstar. You know what I'm saying? The beast mode over there. I was a mid-round guy. I was a fourth rounder, bro. I was the 100th pick of my the 2006 draft. We were in the same draft.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And then you went undrafted. Just talk about how not being drafted kind of fueled you through the next, however many years you played, 10, 15 years, 14 years in the league, how that fueled you through your career.
I mean, I definitely used that motivation, and one thing I knew I was good in college. I knew I was good. I just went to a small school. We didn't win too many games. But, when we played the big schools, Alabama's, Clemson's, Fresno States and stuff like that, I did my thing. I held my own, So I had my respect. But, I wanted to get drafted bad. That was always a dream. And, I got hurt in the Hula Bowl. So I tore my MCL in the Hula Bowl, second play of the game. Yeah, our boy Quinton hit that hole right behind you. Yeah, I got up to the second level, dried him, and he got tackled from behind right in my leg.
In the hole.
Yeah. Oh.
In the hole.
I was balling that week of practice.
I'm finna call Quinton right.
Like killing. I ain't had no meetings set up. I had meetings at the end of the week. Okay, stuff was going, and then that happened, and I still tried to play the rest of the game, and I had to come out, but I went to the combine hurt, and that's one thing where I would have, me being the athlete that I told you, I would have shined. I was running 4.9s, before that when I was training and stuff like that, jumping. I ended up jumping like a 35 vert, but I would have performed there, and that's what got my name out there. So that really hurt me. And then after that, I came back home. And I just started training. I had a couple of teams coming out to my pro day, and then 2 weeks before my pro day, while I was training for my knee getting back, man, I pulled my hammy. And I pulled my hammy training. So we told a couple of teams. And I ended up having like 6 teams come and only having like 2 come, after they found out I was hurt and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I did all that I could do, try to run the 40. It was horrible. So then I ended up dropping. And, I had so many teams calling me like during the 5th, 6th round, 7th round. Mm-hmm. And, my petty ass, I made a list. Every team that called me and told me they was going to draft me didn't call me back. So at the end, when they start calling, sign me free agent.
Really?
So Minnesota hit me, and then they were trying to give me a little bread too. So I was like, let me go there. I had some better opportunities to where I could play because they had Brian McKinney.
Yeah.
And they just drafted Marcus Johnson.
Who was the O-line coach that was Tice
Pat
there?
Morris.
Pat Morris.
It was just when they got Childress.
Okay.
So we went there. I ain't gonna lie, I went there because they were giving me a little bit more money instead of for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great for me to go there because I learned. I had Matt Burt. I had Steve Hutchinson.
Guys, yeah.
I had,
you was there with Hutch?
Yeah, yep. It was first year when we signed the big deal. Brad Johnson was a quarterback. So I had some guys there. So I learned, and then when I got out there, I'm like, I'm going one-on-ones. They drafted a 3rd round guy. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm putting hands on the one-on-ones. I'm not losing to this dude because he was drafted. I want to be drafted. So I kind of like, boom. And Tomlin was the D coordinator there. I remember one day Tomlin pulled me to the side. He was like, hey, He's like, hey, like that's how Tom talked. He said, keep doing what you doing. He's like, they talking about you. He said, they talking about you up there. He's like,
man, that be feeling good when
he's
you
like,
get
keep doing what
feedback
you're doing.
like
He's doing
that.
training camp and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He said, I know I drafted that. Keep whooping that. He's like, I'm like, boom. So I just started, going out there and just playing. And then, the thing was Minnesota. I ain't playing the last preseason game. I'm supposed to play the whole game. I ain't playing the last preseason game. We went to overtime, and they put me in for one series in overtime. We were like 3 and out. I had 3 plays in the last preseason. I'm supposed to play the whole game.
Why
they hit me. I barely played. I played a little bit in the first game. I played a little bit in the second. And I played a little bit in the third. Didn't play at all. I was on the sideline tears.
I'm about to say,
because I'm over there hurt. Like, bro, I have no feel. I knew I was gonna make this team because I'm behind Brian McKee. I'm like, I'm trying to go somewhere where I could get.
You wasn't aware of what they were trying to do to you, though. Like, hold on to you.
After the game, like I'm over there hurt. Like, bro, like what? I'm pissed. Like I'm out there trying to fight my tears. Like, I'm pissed. Like, that's my time to be able to show. So the day after, we had like a little party for the players, and the O-line coach told me he's gonna put me on practice squad already. And I'm like, so I ended up being on practice squad for 4 weeks. And then I remember Tampa called me. Minnesota was like 3-1 that year. They started off good with them. I think we just won. We went out that night. I'm over there. We went out, got in.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm asleep. So I missed Tampa's calls twice.
Oh.
I'm not. So I wake up. I'm like, what's 813 missed calls? I'm messaging my agent called me. I had like 5 missed calls from my agent. I'm like, it's one of them nights when you didn't wake up till like 11, So I'm like, damn. So I call back. I call my agent first. And he like, hey, Tampa trying to sign you right now. Like, call it back. Like, what do? So I call him, and Tampa just had one day old tackles go down. So I went to Tampa. Ended up going there that night. Shit, my first practice in Tampa, I'm going against Simeon Rice. You know what I'm saying? First day, Simeon Rice scout team. He trying to jig me. He don't know. He tried to jig me. I'm like, man, he didn't know I had them feet. So Simeon tried to. I remember Simeon tried to hit me. Simeon tried to hit me. Man, much respect to Simeon though, because he helped me out a lot too.
Yeah.
But that's another reason why I was able to do what I did, because I went to another great locker room with the Bucks. I had Derek Brooks. I had Rondé Barber.
It was veteran.
I had Rondé Barber. I had Sheldon Quarles. I had Brian Kelly. I had Booger McFarley.
Booger was still playing there too.
I had John Groove. Bill Muir was the O-line coach, one of the greatest O-line coaches
coaches. You came in the next year.
Yeah, exactly.
You literally got in the league the very next year.
The names that you saying though, them like iconic names.
You know what I'm saying? It was the DC at the time.
Monty Kittle.
I'm about to say
Raheem Morris was the DB coach.
Yeah. Rob was DB
so, we went. I went in there, and I'm going to Simeon every day trying to go. And Simeon back then, he a vet. Simeon turned it on and off.
Yeah.
So, but getting there, I ended up being inactive all year, and then that off season. Man, I went in there and I fought my butt off.
You went to work.
And I ended up winning the swing tackle spot.
Mm-hmm.
And
you was a big ass tight end. You were trying to run routes.
Nah, not then, not yet. Not yet.
You say that put a smile on his face.
I was at that left tackle money then. I was at that left tackle money. But yeah, then I got with my second year. Oh, you know what else too helped me in Tampa? Davin Joseph was a first round pick my rookie year.
Yeah, he came
True
in
Blood was a second round pick, and he was starting at right tackle. So you know how they say being a faller ain't good? Like I went there, I was just a faller. Hey, y'all doing extra? All right, I'm gonna do extra. Y'all lifting? What time y'all coming to lift tomorrow? Okay, I'm gonna be here. Okay, y'all lift. I just started following the first rounder and following them, and doing like. I remember my first year there, I was sitting in the sauna, and Brooks came in that thing. You don't ever get in the sauna with Brooks.
Why?
He fired that thing up. He fired that thing.
You can't sit up in that.
It was my first time I even know. So people start leaving. I'm like, Brooks talking, that's my dog. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get some knowledge. So I'm in there. Everybody started leaving slowly. And he laughing too. Everybody leave like, man, he come in with an ice bucket.
What?
That ain't even in there. Another water bucket. And he started dousing that.
And he start putting the towels up underneath it to keep it all up.
Yes, he put the towel.
Oh my goodness.
He started dousing
I wasn't winning that.
I'm up in there holding him like I'm dying.
Yeah.
But Brooks like one day he's like, it was right towards the end of the season. He's like, "What's your off season plans, young fella?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna go work out it's my first off season. I'm gonna go work out my high school." Like that. He like, "You don't got no trainer or no program or nothing?" He said, "Nah, I'm hoping they gonna give me something." You know, and he over there laugh. He giggle. He did the same giggle like that. You know, the little OG giggle like that. He had the towel over his head
because he knew he was finna give you some game right now.
And then he was like, all right, and we started talking about something else. And I was like, man, I couldn't hang no more. I got up out of there. But the next morning, I go in there. You know, of course, he in there earlier than me. I'm not knowing. I got a notebook in my locker. He wrote down some of his workouts, wrote down how he starts his cross-field runs. He starts off at the beginning of the offseason, he starts off at 6. 2 weeks later, it goes up to 9. 2 weeks later, it goes up more. 30 seconds, 45 second rest in between, just like he's doing a drive. He said he tries to give 20, like you doing a 20-play drive. He said, how often you have a 20-play drive? He said, by the end of the summer, you should be up to that. So, you know, I didn't ask for that. Like, you know, had some lifts in there and stuff like that.
Dude.
And he gave me that. Yeah, so, I mean, I think that's how what really helped me, you know, rise. But when my second year, when Luke Pettigrew, because they brought Luke in, and he tore his ACL, 4th game of the season. And I went in there, it was 170 straight. One thing I wasn't going to do, once I got it, I wasn't giving it up.
Going to give it up?
Hold on, you said 100 and what?
I started 170 straight games, so I messed up my foot.
170?
Yeah, 170 straight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How many years is that? Do the math, money.
I don't know. Why?
170 divided by 16, roughly.
I did, until 2018, that's when I messed up my foot, December 2018.
That's a lot of
That's a
I
lot
couldn't
of
walk.
games.
See, all the other stuff I could get shot up
games, dog.
and still play. But when that foot and that Liz Frank thing was just hanging.
Liz Frank, man, guy your size, come on, bro.
Yeah,
you can't.
I remember I stood up and I tried to walk and I just fell right back down.
Yeah, you can't.
That foot was just
You can't mess with that, man.
But but that's like really. I think them locker rooms I was in, you know, because I was like a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a silent sponge, but everybody loved me. Like Brooks, if I call Brooks right now on the phone, he gonna answer the phone, Big Bet.
Yeah.
That's why he gave me a nickname, Big Bet, when I was like my first, second year in the league.
D Brooks is an awesome dude, man. Every time I
great.
come in contact with him, man, he always give you some game. He got something to say, something positive to say to you, man. He's a great dude. I want to get your thoughts because every time I see you, we always talk about O-line play and all that stuff. You coaching now. Just give us your thoughts on O-line play now. I know you've been out for a few years now, so you can kind of step back and watch how offensive lines play. To me, the best teams, it shows at the offensive line, at the line of scrimmage. What are you seeing from offensive linemen across the National Football League?
I'm seeing that it's getting a little softer.
Yeah,
but
it's okay. Say it with your chest.
It's still good, but you are right because you can see how the Chiefs, you know, it really cost them in that Super Bowl. Now having that line and having who was at the left tackle, Tooney?
Yeah, and he's a guard. He's a guard. Man. He's a guard. He's not.
He
made
it look good for a while, but it exposed him. But
eventually caught up with him. Philly had 8 rushers, bro.
Yeah, Philly.
Every time they lined, they had somebody fresh to get after him.
But Philly
sent him.
Yeah, they was rotating them too. But Philly got a good line, and they. You know, Baltimore got a good line. You know, so those teams with good line are consistent. They are really coming up. But these, you know, the good thing is these athletes, these guys are running. Goodness. You see this dude running now, like these they come out like specimens. Like what they put in the water now? I'm looking like, man,
it's ridiculous, man.
I mean, old boy ran a 4.8. Like it's just like these athletes are really coming out and showing. So I'm looking forward to the new age of these kids, but. You know, another thing is it's just the toughness because they ain't grinding in practice like we used to. So you don't see that toughness in that grind. It's a lot of little softness, like a plane still.
Well, because lawsuits by ex-players litigated that. And it ain't necessarily our fault because the league, you know, here's some information from us back in the day and all that type of stuff. But that's why the game seems softer to people like us because we played during the time before those lawsuits came through. They come through. Now they start litigate, you know, they start calling the game based off of litigation. I mean, that's just the reality of it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I still do watch a lot of these tackles and some of the guys, they do some stupid mistakes, man. They put themselves in bad positions. It's just like,
I be
watching
coaching.
like, bro, like, what is you doing? Like, it's just, I be looking like some stuff would be so simple. Like, I feel like my body can still do it. I could go out there.
I think it's bad coaching, DP. For real, man. Like, I'm in youth football heavy in the state of Virginia. And so what you see at the youth level is coaches just really only coaching 5 or 6 players every day, the guys that are the fastest, right? And the offensive line and defensive lines, they literally just stand there most of the day. They don't understand, like, we would get to the office at 7 in the morning, but yet we won't leave till 7 at night. We're only on the football field for 2 hours. There's a process to how we learn this game. There's a walkthrough. I mean, there's a meeting. There's a walkthrough. There's lunch. There's another walkthrough. There's another meeting before you go out. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I just don't know.
Still ain't practicing.
Whole nother pod, and I ain't even say. Oh my goodness, whole nother pod, and somebody else said it.
Man,
oh my goodness, yes. Thank you, DB.
I used to be like, bro, it's Thursday. I understand Wednesday.
I used to be like,
Thursday now.
It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
It's Thursday,
bro. You get them in once a week.
Hey.
Friday, that's Speedy Friday.
He gonna be so energized.
Yeah, I walk in like, dog, why y'all going so slow, man? Get up to the next time. Like, bro, I practiced all week. Give me a break.
Man, I did 9 on 7.
Now
I did 9 on 7.
When you got to Oakland, I know you weren't doing 9 on 7.
For sure, I was doing 9 on 7.
Hey, you know what I used to hate about him when he didn't practice? When he didn't practice Oakland, he'd be back there talking the most. Let a scout dude get this close on me on Thursday practice. You just gonna let the little but you know he gonna make me mad. I'm about to fight the little scout. Like, shut the like, he right there talking the most. But I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't talking
our time in Oakland, that was fun. Besides when I held out, he was mad I wasn't there for camp.
Hell yeah.
When I held out. He was called like, bro, because year before that we was rolling, but
they weren't trying to give you your bread. Why you hold out? It was.
Man, they wasn't trying to give me my bread in Oakland, man. They did me dirty a little bit. They low key. You know, when I went there from Tampa, you know, I signed. Mm-hmm. I ain't signed for that much. I signed for 2 years, $10 million, and then you know, them 2 years I balled, and they started bringing in everybody. They brought in Kalechi, gave him record guard deal.
Some money, yeah.
Brought in Hudson, gave him a record guard deal. Then they gave him a record guard deal. I'm over there like, I've been here holding it down. I'm 2 Pro Bowls in, like, you know, and I don't know if it was a misunderstanding or something, but we reached out to him before that season and talked to him, and they kind of like blew it off.
Oh, really?
Like, it was like, I mean, they said they would get back to him. We never heard anything. And then Camp was getting close to my agent, like, no, you ain't showing up. Like, I'm like, and I held out in Tampa. I'm like, man, I don't want to do it. Yeah, I'm towards the end of the year, but I'm like, this is my only time to do it. And I mean, it's tough. So I ain't go to camp, and they had no idea. Like,
so they thought you were showing up the first day.
The GA said to me like, hey, it's okay if you're running late, but you're supposed to be here by. You're supposed to be here, like. And I'm like, then
can you call your boy? Yeah. Can you call your boy?
Yeah. Then the coach called me. My old line coach called me. I told him straight up, like, hey, you know. And then they called my agent. Then, you know, it was tough though because nobody's held out on the Raiders before I did it. And
for real,
like forever. So Mr. Davis, like Mr. Davis was mad at me. Like them phone calls with Mr. Davis, like he was pissed. Like he was like, bro,
get your ass up there.
Like, you know, he was like, man, ain't nobody done this. Like, we could have talked. I said, bro, I talked. Y'all didn't take me serious. So,
yeah.
You know, I was tough. And then we was going back and forth with Mr. McKenzie and all that stuff. And it was just tough. I ended up holding out, shooting them in the whole training camp. Mm-hmm. And I ended up coming back on a promise that if I came back, because Mr. Davis was, one thing I love about Mr. Davis, he stood 10 toes down on what he said.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't paying you till you come in.
I mean,
and he told me that straight up, and they paid me till I came in. And I got on the phone with him like one time, and I was like, bro, if I come in, you promise, like you know, you hear that all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mr. Davis, you gonna give me a word, like if I come in, you know, because Mr. Davis didn't want to like he folded, because he didn't want that to keep happening. Yeah. And I understand where you're coming from, you know, being a big corporation and not having nobody really do that. And, you know, he explained that to me too, which is respectful. You know, like dog, like I'm not folding. Like, so I'm like, bro, you promise, like Mr. McKenzie's like, yeah, like we're gonna work through it.
You
so
did a pinky promise, bro. You pinky promise, bro.
I ended up coming in before the third preseason game, And it was more me. I wanted to go in too because I know I know how much time I need to get ready. And I ain't want to go out there and not be the Donald I know, you know?
Yeah.
So I went in before the third precinct. I ain't tell nobody. My car didn't work. Couldn't go through. I had to go through the front door. Little secretary had to let me in. Yeah, we the one. What was that? What do we call? Alameda. What do we call it? I don't remember what we call it. But I pulled up. I couldn't get in through the gate. I had to go through the front door.
Was working.
I walked through the trainer room. Said what's up to the trainer. I knew what time practice started. They going to practice. I ain't say nothing to nobody. I guess the trainer called upstairs. So I'm in my locker getting ready to get dressed. I walked back in the trainer room, get taped, and then they called me upstairs. But then it got 2 weeks without hearing nothing from him.
While you were in the building? I mean,
I've been there
came back
practicing,
2 weeks, nothing?
So it's that week before.
It's a control play,
you know when you get off right after the last preseason game, you got that week.
Yeah.
So I go tell Del Rio. That's why I love Del Rio. The real one, man. I don't care what nobody say. The real one.
Shout out Jack, man.
So I went and told Jack, like, hey, Jack, y'all remember you promised me, because Jack was part of that. Like I said, Jack, I held my part. And Jack was like shocked. Like, they haven't said, I said, Jack, not one word. I told him after practice too, walking off, I said, Jack, come here, let me talk to you on the field. Right before I was about to fly home for the weekend, because I ain't coming back. If it ain't, I ain't say that, but that's what I was thinking.
But in your mind, that's how it was. Jack made it, they made it happen.
And I told Jack, and Jack was like, oh, no. Like, he was kind of pissed. Like, oh, no, they told me, like,
it was going
he said, boom. And then the next day they called my agent, and they figured out some stuff. And
this dude right here called me one time.
Right.
The year he held out, he called me. Hey, bro, what you doing?
You talking about hold out.
What you do?
I was trying to retire.
You won't trying to retire. He was retired. He was trying to get this bread.
That's what he called it.
Retired yet.
Oh, well, you was threatening retirement.
I was trying to retire.
Well, whatever.
When they tell you they could go in your bank account and write their own check, then you start looking a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That started to look a little different. So that's what that was about.
He called me on one of my first days at the network, like, hey, what you doing? I said, I'm working. It was during a commercial break. He said, well, tell him I'm not coming to camp. And it started laughing. Well, my mic is right here. And the producer's in my ear like, is that for real? Is that for real? And I'm like,
I said, man, yeah. Mike snitching.
But he told me to say it. He said, look.
I was talking to you, not to the mic.
That's
what I'm saying. He wanted to say. He know what he was doing.
The reaction. I know you had a mic connected to your damn
because I
mic.
told him at work, and he said, "I'm sitting here watching you on TV." He knew I was
why he
at
called
work.
you, right?
That's why he called me.
But he didn't get the reaction you wanted.
That's why you on TV and you on commercial, and I can't see you. Then is your mic
knew what I
hot
was
or
doing.
not?
It ain't hot.
Set me up. Though.
No, because right after that, I reported it, and then a couple weeks later, he got his money.
And he wasn't mad. You know, he want to be at camp.
No, he wasn't mad.
And they calling me man when I was
practice anyway. How y'all making it.
Practice
like,
you know why he was mad? I was at
didn't
camp.
go to practice for one day.
You don't really practice much.
Man,
I don't know why y'all saying that.
Man, I know I'm gonna get got.
Before we get you out of here, DP, just to get got, right? We did an interview years ago where, he famously said, Beast Mode famously said, everybody get got, but I'm going to get mine more than I get got. And hence, that's why we got the...
Mike, we've been doing it hella long.
What?
Every time you...
Man, why you messing up my flow, man? Let me ask the question, man.
Because y'all over here done clicked up on me.
No, we did not.
Hell no,
It's just, we
man.
just said the truth. Well, the question is, DP, has there ever been, do you have a get got story at a time when you got on the field? We all have gotten got, so I'm sure there is sometimes.
a few times.
Yeah. If you got a story for us before we let you go.
I got a few, but me, like you said, as long as you don't get got as much, but I remember my first start of my career was against Dwight Freeney.
Ooh.
The Colts.
Yeah, he spent on you a few times.
Indianapolis.
Did he
hit you with the hezzy spin?
Nah, I stopped the spin. It was when he hit me with the hezzy then the bull.
Oh, got your
And
feet
he lifted,
moving.
oh yeah. And he lifted me up. And I fell on my back. But I held on. He came down with me.
He flat left.
He didn't get no sack though. He came down with me. I held on.
I know it's some yellow.
Oh yeah, it definitely. Yeah. I watched the replay on the big board when I was in the huddle.
Yeah.
I watched the replay, but he didn't get no sack. I take that hole. He didn't get no sack. And then one time against Melvin Ingram, we was playing in the Chargers.
Melvin Ingram, man.
And I peeled back on Melvin, clinked his clock. Bah! Melvin hopped up. I was like, I got you. And Melvin looked at me and said, I'm gonna get you back, DP. I'm gonna get you back. Melvin got my ass back later on that game. He got me back, dog. Hey, Melvin hit me with the little same stutter as whatchamacallit. And I sat down on it. But he got me. I tripped over the
everything.
The guard foot, but it didn't matter on film. You don't see that. And Melvin didn't know. He just pushed me down too on top, made it look bad. And he got up and he run after the ball. He turned around and said, I told you I was gonna get you back, DP. I just started laughing. I couldn't do nothing but laughing. We were blowing him out too by that end. Yeah. But he got me back though. He got me back.
She'll get got story, man.
He got me back. All right, what about you? When I got I'm messing with you.
Look at this.
It's all good, man.
You know what? I will say this though, man. You are I seen it with my own eye. Athletic. We was outside. It was a drone flying up at us, bro. I'm like, man, what the you talking about? Yeah. They be having TMZ like that. I'm like, what the is this right here? He like, that.
I jumped up.
Bro, that jump up in the air, bro. Grab the drone, bro. That was hella high in the air, bro. Bro, I'm like, I call Head like, no, was he with us?
I don't know if he was.
I just remember telling Head like, bro, I see why you bro. Just jump in the air, bro, and grab the drone out. He grabbed the drone, bro, and was like, and look at his head. Cut his head. There's a dude come running from hella far down the street like, hey, break that. No, that nigga just was like, man. Drone exploded. You just hit a dude like, no, that's my drone. Come on, we out. We got the. I'm talking about. I just remember in the car like, dog.
Did I just do that?
You can really jump like that. That's all I was like. You can really jump like that.
Them nights, though.
Like, I hops. You play basketball. I'm like, man, I'm
believe me, dog.
So, man, you feel me? Like, that's my.
Shout out to DP. Thanks for coming by to get got today.
Long overdue.
Exactly. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, but hold on, man. Tell us what you got going on right now. Cause you got
right now, man, we got me and Marcellus Wally got check it out on the Rocks podcast. We've been doing it. It's a good little mixture, man. We got like 3 athletes, and then we got we call them narcs, non-athletic people. So we have like people that never play sports too. So we had like 6 people, and they give their opinions too and ask us questions. So you getting it from a normal person's perspective,
that's a dope concept, man.
and you getting it from a professional athlete's perspective too. So it's kind of cool. So check it out. It's on YouTube.
Like Jacob Roach. We're hokers. Ain't not an athletic bone in his body.
Man, I wear hokers. I like
maybe let me get this on camera
Exactly.
too. Maybe Marshawn will return the favor and come on. You too.
I definitely come on.
Come on, one
no
time.
doubt, man. We come on.
You know I'm gonna bless my son, man. You feel me? You know, Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Your siblings ain't seen you in a while, man. They upset, man.
Man, I know I'm gonna get got, but I'm gonna get mine more than I get got, though.
2-4 for the one time. I'ma get got, but I bet I get mine. 2-4 to 2-6, and if I get got, then you know what I'ma get.